Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to look closely at blood transfusion procedures. Safely giving blood products is one of the most critical responsibilities we hold as a healthcare professional. Over the next few minutes, we will walk step by step through the entire clinical workflow from initial patient verification and equipment preparation to monitoring during the infusion, managing potential reactions, and completing post procedure care. Now that we understand the big picture, let's begin right at the beginning. The pre transfusion verification phase. Safety starts before the blood reaches the bedside. First, we must carefully check the physician order to confirm the clinical indication, the specific blood component type required, and the prescribed quantity. Next, we verify the patient identity using at least two reliable identifiers like the patient name and the hospital ID band, or we can say the patient name or the patient CR number, because they are always unique. In most of the cases, there are two patients with the same name, but the hospital ID band or the CR number the patient have was never be same, so always rely on two identifiers. We also ensure that informed consent is properly discussed, signed, and documented in the patient records. And finally, we measure and record the patient baseline vital signs, including the temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and respiratory rate. So we have a clear reference point before anything begins. With our initial check and baseline vital safety completed, we transition directly into preparing our equipment and the blood unit itself. First, we gather our infusion setup, a bag of compatible blood, a specialized giving set equipped with a 170 to 200 micron blood filter, and normal saline 0.9% for flushing. We make sure a secure 18 gauge or 20 gauge intravenous cannula is established alongside all the necessary supplies like antiseptic swab, gloves, and tourniquet was ready and available at the point of time. And crucially, we inspect the blood bag thoroughly for any leak, clot, discoloration, and verify its expiry date, and gently mix the components by inverting the bag. After this, now that our equipment is ready, we move to bedside initiation. After performing hand hygiene, putting on non sterile gloves, and communicating clearly with the patient to reassure them, we perform a vital dual verification in which two qualified nurses check the patient identity and blood unit details directly at the bedside. Once everything matches, we begin the infusion slowly at approximately 2 ml per minute for the first critical 15 minutes. Why? Because the nurse must stay at the bedside during these critical 15 minutes to closely watch for any immediate acute transfusion reaction. If the patient tolerates it well and no reaction occur, we can increase the flow rate according to the doctor's order, or typically between 80 to 150 ml per hour. Remember, do not mix any medication with blood and ensure the entire unit is completed within a strict 4-hour window. After this, once the blood infusion is successfully completed, our responsibility doesn't end there. We transition into the post phase transfusion and the observation phase. And first, we flush the IV line with normal saline if prescribed, so that the line is patent, and next we dispose of the empty blood bag and tubing strictly according to the hospital biomedical waste protocols. We check and document the patient vital signs again 30 minutes after completion, and finally complete our documentation by recording the date, time, total volume infused, product details, and any observed reaction. Now, after this, even with the strictest precautions, complications can happen, which brings us to recognizing and managing transfusion reaction. And if a patient develops thermal signs like a sudden fever, chills, rigor, or restlessness, or any dermatological signs like rash, itching, hives, immediate action is required. And for the thermal reaction, you must stop the transfusion immediately and keep the IV line open with normal saline. And for dermatological or localized allergic signs, inform the physician immediately and monitor vitals continuously. And if severe cardiorespiratory symptoms occur, such as nausea, vomiting, severe breathlessness, chest pain, or a drop in blood pressure, keep the line open, notify the doctor, and promptly send the blood bag and remaining sample back to the blood bank for investigation. Now, that covers our comprehensive guide to safe blood transfusion practice. Thank you all for listening closely. And if you like this video, please press that thumbs up button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want more such videos in the future, then please also let me know in the comment section. And for today, thank you.